that you can only do one thing. And it's so great that Bob Dylan's been painting along, and his paintings are great, and it's real important. And I'm sure it feeds something, you know, it's just probably a joy for him to be doing this. And it's great. We're allowed to go in all different kind of mediums, even financial, you know, things.
And we have a question over here. Could you please explore your fascination of what is under the surface? If we move from ether to content, your fascination of what is behind this nice surface in under. It seems to be a leading.
That's what people say. Yes, I'd like to go under the surface, but I don't really think about things like that. I just these ideas come, and the idea is surprising to me. And I don't necessarily know right away what it means in the case of cinema. I get ideas in fragments. So you get a fragment you fall in love with, it draws in other fragments, and as they form together you say, oh, this thing is about this, possibly. And you go like that. I don't set out to tell a certain thing. There are many things going on under the surface, and we all know about that. We can feel them, sense them, and they're interesting to think about.
And we have from Svenska.
Yeah. From Swedish way. Would you say a few words about the character Bob that I understand appear in several of your works?
Right. Bob is a name that I just like. And a name is very important. I don't know exactly why, but if you change your name, they say it's quite a big event, and it could actually change the way you behave and think. A name is quite important. And so Bob will do certain things that, say, Mike wouldn't do, and vice versa. And Stephen would do something different. And Bartholomew, which is a name I like, I think I was mentioning this, Bartholomew would be, you know, completely different from Bob. The name indicates certain things. The Bob in the series of paintings is a different Bob than the Bob in Twin Peaks. A completely different Bob, but still with the same name. The Bob in the paintings could run into some trouble and end up being similar to the Bob in Twin Peaks. Has that capability.
And we have Copenhagen Post.
Yeah, Robert G. You can call me Bob.
And Bob goes backwards and forwards the same way, so it's a nice thing. Yeah.
I don't mean to put you on the spot with this question, but since we're in Denmark, I'm just wondering, do you have any Danes that you would consider to be role models or influences in terms of either your cinema or your painting?
No. But I like this town of Copenhagen, and every time I come here, I feel, and this is not just because I'm visiting and have to say this, but such a brightness in the people, so kind and warm and bright. And I say this is a very enlightened country, of very, very good people.
And that we would like to elaborate on as well. And we have a question down here from young lady.
Actually, I was going to ask you what you think about Copenhagen, but you just answered.
I just answered it. You could ask me about what I think about Moscow.
Forget about Russia. And Christian from Berlingske.
Well, it's a similar question, but I understand you made a piece of art especially for this place, and I wondered if it was connected to your sense of this place?
Yes. When I, you know, the show was very well organized, and they would send me plans of each floor and what was going to hang where, and we worked from a long distance. But still, I came early just in case something is, you know, could be changed. And they're very good about letting the artists go through and see and comment. But they did such a beautiful job. I had a lot of time on my hands. So, and this place was just under construction still. So there's many tools and workmen and materials about. So I made two things, and they must be inspired by Copenhagen. One was had to do with night fishing, and made from twigs. Some of the twigs were found just out front, and the other twigs came from Hella's garden here. And so that's in the show. Then I made a hat called the famous Copenhagen steeple hat, and I was out on the veranda of the hotel taking a smoke, and I noticed this steeple, and I thought, oh, this steeple is, the top of that is perfect for the hat. So it's kind of dedicated to Copenhagen, and it's in the show. Not great pieces, but I like them very much.
And me from DR2 International.
Yes, in your artwork you show kind of a dark side. Do you think it reflects your view on society?
Yes and no. Ideas come, and some ideas are for painting, and some ideas are for cinema, some ideas are for furniture, like that. And the ideas, many of the ideas are conjured by the world. Even if you don't go to places these days, we feel the world coming in all the time, and ideas sometimes come from that. And sometimes an idea comes that you fall in love with because you can see what one medium could do with that idea, like a painting. And the world we live in right now is pretty dark and troubled, and much suffering, much negativity, much absurdities. And these things conjure ideas.
You may elaborate on that. Yeah,
Is there a reason for you to only focus on the dark sides? Because yes, there's a lot of bad things happening, but also there's
A lot of good things
a lot of
happen.
good things
Sure.
happening. Why not focus on that side?
That's a good question. I see kind of a good thing in these paintings, and it has to do, I don't know what goes in, but they end up making me happy. So I don't know what the trick is, but I like to make these worlds, you know, in painting or cinema, that people can go into and have an experience. And swimming lots of times with the darkness are very good feelings as well. And some people feel those more than others, but they're there.
and we have a question on the second row.
Yeah, okay. So you never use plots when you make stories?
I never use what?
Like plot?
No. Plots are very, very important. Every story has a plot. But plots are, there's no rules to plots. And the plot is revealed as the ideas come. So some ideas come, no plot. Another idea comes, still no plot. Another idea, and now a kind of a plot, a story is coming. And then you get so thrilled, it draws in more very quickly sometimes right then. And the whole thing goes, and but there might be some things missing. So still waiting for ideas.
One more thing. You play a very special guitar. Will you come and play here in Copenhagen?
But I don't play in front of people. If I go on the road, I'll definitely come to Copenhagen. But please be kind to me.
And we have Barbara Steffensen.
I know that Christina's room is based on a notion that every room you enter will interfere with your stories and what is created there. What do you think of that notion as an artist?
I think it's fantastic. Every place you go, when you least expect it, you go into a room and something about the mood or the light, what's happening in it, the shape of the room, the height of the ceiling, something, boom, conjures ideas. And so the world is just a magical place to conjure ideas. And some rooms just are staggeringly good at conjuring them.
So the rooms up here, how do they inspire you? Do you think that might be why your works became a bit lighter, brighter?
I don't know, but the GL Strand new rooms now hold the solid history, and yet they're modern at the same time. So it's a very good place to show work. Beautiful place, beautiful feeling.
Good. And we have another question on the first row.
Yeah, from the university radio. Do you ever lose that creative spark that seems to inspire all your works?
No. I haven't ever felt a lack of ideas. And if it doesn't happen in cinema, it'll happen in some other medium. So every day, I've got, something to do. And fortunately, ideas come.
And there's only room for 2 more questions now.
Okay.
So, and we'll first have here.
Yeah. The exhibition is called The Air is on Fire. Previously, you made a TV series called On the Air. You made Twin Peaks Fire Walk Street. What do the elements represent to you?
Elements are so beautiful. We all know that. And now our elements are kind of in trouble. But air is very beautiful. And when it moves, it makes a sound called wind. And I love wind sounds. Love them. It's the most fantastic thing. It just makes a mystery, a moaning wind. I just love it. Fire. What a magical thing fire is. That's why people can sit in front of their fireplace and just go off on a dream. You can't really, it's always changing. It makes heat. It's incredible. It's so magical, it makes you dream. And it's so different than water. And water is such an incredible thing. Fish go in it, you can drink it, and it's wet. It's wild. Earth, you dig a hole and smell this earth, it'll make you crazy. It's so beautiful, and things grow in it. There's nutrients in it. All these things are very important. What, did I miss any elements?
Gases.
Gases, yeah. Outer space, empty space. We look out there. Now the city lights are so bright, we don't really get that experience. But once in a while we go to some place where we see trillions of stars, and that's a cosmic experience for human beings to see that. I said Earth.
Yeah. And me from DR2 International will have the honor of having the last question for Mr. David Lynch.
Okay.
We have seen your movements, and we're going to see your paintings and hear the music. What is the next thing we're going to see from you?
I'm making a documentary on Maharishi Mahesh Yogi, the knowledge he brought out. And I've been doing transcendental meditation that Maharishi brought out for 37 years. So I'm going to do this documentary, and it may just be a little part of the big story because there's so much. And then I'm trying to catch ideas for the next film at the same time, but painting along. I paint outside, so in the summer it's very nice. Even in LA, where I live, it does get chilly in the winter, and it's more difficult to paint outdoors.
So On behalf of the
Thank you all very much.
we want to say thank you to all of you, gentlemen and ladies of the press. And the first kit is right here on the table.